guess whose stock just went up, Golden Boy?
Hello. Let me unmute it first before I begin. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream, another show, another video on the channel. Today we are going to be doing the match reaction for the game against Aston Villa, which unfortunately ended 1-0 in favor of Aston Villa. So, guys, make sure you're sticking with us today because we are going to go in depth into every aspect of this game, every part of this game, how it went wrong for us, and make sure you're liking the video. Yeah, make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're smashing that subscribe button. Make sure you're hitting that bell notification or that notification bell, sorry, so you're notified every time we go live, guys. So make sure you're doing that. Now, guys, unfortunate game for all my Arsenal, for all my gooners out there, man, who you know are watching that game, seeing how it unfolded. We are going to get into it all, but first, let me invite on one of my guests. I do have two guests coming on. I have Ashraf and we have T. T is running late at the moment, but he will be here to give his say as well on the game. So stay tuned for that, my people. But without further ado, let me bring on my brother Ashraf in the building. Ashraf, how's it going, man?
Yo, Sad, big up, my brother. How you doing? How's everything? Still recovering from yesterday, I see.
Alhamdulillah, bro. You know, in life is good. In life, everything is okay, good.
Alhamdulillah, that's the most important thing.
Footballing wise, right now, you know what I mean. It's moving a bit techie. It's doing backflips. You know what I mean, cartwheels. So, bro, I'm sure we're gonna get into it, man, because there's a lot to speak about. Man. Obviously, we'll be speaking about the decisions, the handballs, and obviously the foul on Jesus, even the foul on Zinchenko, I believe it. Or was it Nketiah? It was Nketiah. Yes,
the elbow.
Yeah, from Diego Carlos. Yes. So we will be speaking about those, but we'll also be speaking about our performance, which is very important. We need to speak about how we're not clinical enough, how we can't finish chances. We will be speaking about all of that. But guys, like I said before, make sure you're smashing the like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel and letting us know in the chat and down below for all the people that watch on the replay, because I know a whole lot of you guys like to watch it on the replay. Make sure you're liking the video as well, subscribing to the channel, and let me know down below, man. Let me know down below what your thoughts were on this game, what you would have changed, whether you would have started the lineup differently, whether you would have done this, whether done that. But make sure you're doing that ASAP, guys. Now, big up MDO in the building. MDO, my brother, you good, man? How you doing, man? Big up yourself, bro. Big up yourself. But yeah, so getting into the game, man. Getting into the game. I think, firstly, hold on a minute. T is here. Tea has arrived. There's no biscuits. There's only tea. You know what I mean? Where's the biscuits at? Nah, let's get tea in the building. Look at that Avi. Look at that Avi.
Don't you mean scones?
Yeah, come with the
agenda. Hey, he said scones. I'm dead.
Hey, Ashraf, one thing. Truth is not agenda, my friend. This is pure truth and facts.
100%, bro.
Yo, big up, guys. Big up the chat.
Big up,
Sorry,
big
I'm
up.
a little bit late today. Work has been a bitch. But yeah, I'm here to be pissed off again. Let's go.
Oh, mate, tell me about it. Tell me about it. And I think, obviously, just getting into the game, guys. Just getting into the. By the way, Abhi, big up yourself, man. My day was very good today, man. You know, just chilled out at home watching football, mainly just relaxing. I'm pretty sure the fellas are the same. Here, you guys are the same. Just chilled
It's
out.
Abi,
Nice
by the
day.
way.
Is it?
The
He
H,
said. He said.
the
He
H
said.
is silent.
He said to me, "Is Abhi not Abi?"
Oh, I'm pretty sure
Because I asked him. I asked him in the
because
WhatsApp. I was like,
it's a
"Tell me."
very common Indian name. I'm not Indian, but like I'm married to an Indian, so I know these things. Like ABHI is
Oh,
very. It's usually short for like Abhinav or Abhi. I don't know, but yeah, I feel like
yeah. Oh, okay.
Abhilash or something.
Abhilash. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Abhilash too. Correct.
Mhm.
Raw. Listen,
Yeah,
I T-Nut.
yeah, man.
Came out with that out of nowhere.
T-Nut
Abhinav,
out
We
of
are
Abhilash.
nowhere,
Yeah.
bro.
multicultural here, man. We're multicultural. I have a
There
lot of
you go.
friends called. I have a friend called Abhilash, and I have another friend called
Abhishek. Okay.
Abhishek.
Afinash.
Yeah, Avinash. I have a friend named
Avinash.
Avinash as well. But yeah,
Hey.
actually, to
Yeah.
be honest, I can't believe I didn't say Abhishek because that's the most common one. And
Yeah.
Abhi, just correct us if I'm wrong. It is Abhi, right? Not Abhi, right? I mean, I'm
I
pretty
want
sure
to
it
make
is.
sure I'm
Like,
getting that
I
right.
know Indians a lot. Like, so.
If it is Abi, apologies.
Nah, it's a mistake,
Apologies,
man.
Abi. You know, I like to pronounce people because there's so many times where people call me Sad,
Sad.
Saeed. Bro, I get Saeed so many times, bro.
Oh,
I'm like,
really?
why are you lot
There's no E.
manifesting? Bro, why are you manifesting letters? Where's the E or I coming from?
Bro.
The Moroccan
Where
Said.
else? Bro, it's crazy. Crazy. Hey,
No,
P, don't say that.
I've heard
It's
Hussam
gonna
be
start
called
getting crazy.
Hassan. I've heard Hussam be called Hassan and stuff. It's like, how do people mix up these names? I think they just
Yeah.
hear like, oh, this is an Arab name. I've heard this Arab name before, so they're probably the same thing. Like, bro.
Bro, they're just like, let me get it closest to what Arab name I've heard before. The Arab name that I've heard before, let me just get the closest one. That's basically what it is. That's basically what it is, man. Especially here in the UK. Here in the UK, a lot of English people, when they say my name, they're just like, I've heard Saeed before. I've seen it on EastEnders. So let me just say that. Yeah, Saeed. Bro, it's crazy, man.
God.
But no, listen, I believe it's if it is, I'll be big up yourself, Abby. I hope your day was good, and I hope your family is all good as well.
Big up.
Yeah, guys, getting into this game, man. Getting into this game, and I feel like the first thing we should discuss is the goal. The goal that splits this game, that chose a winner and chose a loser. So the goal. I don't know if you want to go first, Ashraf.
I don't mind. I'm glad. I'm glad, like you're saying, okay, let's start with this because there's so many things on my mind. I don't want to go ramble on a tangent, but look, the goal, obviously, it came on too early. And a lot of times, like when these goals come in too early, you're not fully prepared for it because I watched it a couple of times and I'm trying to be like, sometimes you just want to blame someone for the goal. You want to be like, okay, whose fault it is? It's this guy ruined it for us. And I saw it again and again. I'm like, man, there were multiple mistakes. Kai Havertz
No.
Let me look. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Look,
let's not start
there is. You can. No. You can.
There's
say
one guy that's key.
I understand you're going to say Zinchenko. I understand you're going to say Zinchenko. But for me, there's a lot of mistakes there, bro. Like I'll tell you, the first thing, if you watch that again, where the whole attack comes from when the ball was coming to Tielemans, Zinchenko was already going on the guy. I can't remember who was it that passed to Tielemans. Was it the right back? Was it maybe?
No, it was Bailey.
Yeah. Someone passed it to Tielemans first, and then Tielemans gave the through ball. When Bailey, okay, so if it's Bailey, when Bailey had the ball, he was playing it to Tielemans. Kai Havertz left Tielemans and went pressing with Zinchenko on Bailey. Why? When Zinchenko is already going on him, and the moment he did that, the moment he did that, that pass came to Bailey, and then obviously Bailey continued that run. Then I agree, Zinchenko, yes, he probably pressed, but Zinchenko had to press on Bailey, right? For me, Kai Havertz, I'm not like obviously had an amazing game, and we'll discuss that. Sorry, I think you're like you don't agree with that. Like, do you not think that's what happened? Because I just watched it again today.
What happened? Because I watched it as well. Leon Bailey passes it to Tielemans. Yeah. Now, Zinchenko is on Leon Bailey. Zinchenko was covering Leon Bailey, trying to get the ball off of him when he makes the pass to Tielemans. Zinchenko goes to Tielemans and leaves Bailey open. Yeah, Bailey goes on the run on the flank, runs on the flank and receives the pass back from Tielemans because Zinchenko's coming towards him from the side, so he's got to pass it to someone. He sees Bailey making that run on the flank, passes it back. Zinchenko runs to Tielemans. In my mind, Zinchenko has to stick with the fullback. He has to stick with the winger. He has to stick with the winger, follow the winger back, leave the midfielders to do their job. Yeah? If Tielemans is in the middle and he gets past the ball, what can he do in the middle? What, is he going to try to pass it to Ollie Watkins? Is he going to try to pass it to McGinn? He could do that, but he's in the middle. He's in the middle. So he's congested. There's too many players around him. What I wanted Zinchenko to do is stick with Leon Bailey, track his run, stay with him, and then once Leon Bailey runs, Zinchenko's with him. Nobody's going to pass him the ball.
I hear you. I hear you, Sad. I'm watching it right now. I hear you. I understand what you're saying. Like when...
Can you see it now?
So basically what I'm seeing is, so someone passed the ball to... maybe the right back, pass it to Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey comes in, passes it to someone else, actually, to Douglas Luiz, I think, who gives it to Tielemans, who places it there. I agree Zinchenko maybe could have continued running with Leon Bailey, but I went even before that. Even before that, when Leon Bailey received the ball the first time at the byline, right? Zinchenko goes with him, and then Kai Havertz leaves Tielemans and also goes with him there, which is like, so I agree. Zinchenko did that later. I agree with that. The sequence after that, Zinchenko now should have continued running with Bailey instead of going at Tielemans. 100%, fair enough. The only reason I feel he ran at Tielemans is because there was no one there on him. Because when Zinchenko turned, after Bailey played the 1-2 and Bailey played the pass to Tielemans, sorry, I shouldn't play it on loud.
Couldn't hear nothing.
Thank God. When Bailey played it to Tielemans, because Kai Havertz was no longer on Tielemans, Zinchenko went and covered him. Now, I do agree with you. A left back with incredible defensive mindset would have understood which player to track instead. So he should have tracked him there. But that first mistake, in my opinion, came from Havertz leaving his man. And then once that happened, Zinchenko then made that mistake of leaving Bailey and going on Tielemans. So that's another mistake that happened. It's the second one. And then Gabriel, okay, fair enough. He tried to like close down Bailey.
Gabriel has to. I don't blame Gabriel.
I agree. Yeah, he shouldn't make a tackle. Fair enough. Bailey obviously put that. The thing is, for me, right, whenever a winger puts in a cross or squares the ball in, I always think there's some portion of the blame on the guy who was close to him that didn't stop the cross from coming. Have you seen how many times Kyle Walker, or obviously these guys are incredible defensively, but how many times have Kyle Walker and Wan-Bissaka stopping the cross, jogging, and the moment someone is going to cross, they time the lunge so well, right? Yeah. And that doesn't get the value, that doesn't get the appreciation it deserves. Because
do you know the reason why I still don't blame Gabriel for that? Is because on multiple occasions this season he has done that. Yeah, on multiple occasions he has done that. Normally his timing of his tackles is amazing, perfect. Yeah, near to perfect as you can be.
But isn't that all the more reason why you should blame him for that?
On this occasion it wasn't. But what I'm hoping you'll get to is the next.
It's Ben White.
Oh
my God, bro!
Exactly.
This is why I wanted to start from the beginning, God. Because for me, as I said, 4 players were at fault. Gabriel has the least fault in all of them. Like you could give him maybe 5%, because every time, as I said, I just expect a defender to try and stop the cross. Fair enough, but it happens. Even the best of defenders like Van Dijk sometimes let crosses go past them. So he gets the least blame. Kai Havertz, for me, started it. Zinchenko made it worse. But Ben White, who are you marking? The only guy in the box who's going to receive the ball is McGinn. And you let McGinn do a 360, not 360, like a 180 or 340 or 2020, whatever it is. You let McGinn make that turn so easy, and you're going slow at him. What, are you scared of giving a penalty? You see that the cross is coming in. You see that Leon Bailey is going to square the ball in. The only guy you need to go and mark and watch out for is McGinn. And the moment he receives the ball, Ben White still has time to go and close him down. When he sees him turning on his right, you still have time to on his right side, which is basically bringing it to his left foot. You still have time to go block that and cross it and stop that from coming in. It's so lazy, and I've seen people like blame Zinchenko, and I'm like, yeah, Zinchenko messed up, but so did Ben White.
Ben White was horrific. That was horrific.
Tommy never lets that.
Was
I agree
horrific
with MDL
because, bro, Ben White for that one, that was horrific. The reason why is because you let McGinn, who is not an athletic player, he is not an athletic player. He's a workhorse. He's a powerhouse. He'll run his.
He's athletic. He's not agile. You could say.
Sorry, agile.
Yeah,
he's not agile. Yeah. He's not an agile player who is capable of doing that. And you still let him turn you like that and get a shot on goal. I'm not blaming Raya, and we spoke about that during the halftime space because actually, to a degree, if you have a world-class
I don't blame him because that's his level. If I had Alisson as keeper, I'd blame Alisson.
He didn't say that, then I could blame.
Yeah,
then I
because
could blame
he set that standard. Yeah,
exactly,
100%.
Exactly. So for me, I can't blame Raya because he's not that level of keeper that's able to save that. A world-class keeper could possibly save that. But Ben White was horrific for that one because he just let McGinn do whatever he wanted. He just gave him the freedom. He said, "Listen, I'm gonna stand back. You do whatever you need to do. If you need to shoot, let me know. I'll move out the way a bit more." What the fuck are you doing? This is day one. You learned this in day one of playing football. You stay close to your man, and you never let him get away from you. You always have to block the side where the ball is coming from. Yeah, always. So you don't let the attacker get his back to you. If you let the attacker get his back to you, I learned this. I learned this from when I first started school. When I first started football. When I first started football, you know, when I was a little freaking kid, when I was a little baby, going into trying to run. Yeah, your coach would tell you when you're trying to defend somebody, you never let the attacker get his back to you. If he has his back to you, you're done. Finished. He will roll off of you with ease, especially someone who has the physicality over you, which McGinn has the physicality over him. He's not agile, but he definitely has the physicality over him. So why the fuck would you let him have his back to you? Get in front of him. Get in front of him. Then what can he do? He's not going to be able to receive the ball. And even if he does receive the ball, you're already in a position where you can then get a foot in. You have the power in the position. Or you're in the power role there. Do you know what I mean? T, I don't know if you wanted to say anything on this.
I thought Zinchenko was our best player at the back four yesterday. We know that he can make mistakes at sometimes, but I think our defense, both Gabriel and Saliba,
I thought you were being sarcastic in the beginning. I actually agree with you. Yeah, I thought you were being sarcastic.
No.
Okay.
I think Zinchenko was our best player at the back four. I think our defense, both Saliba and Gabriel, were shocking yesterday. I think they forgot their brains in the dressing room yesterday, I think. And Ben White, I told you about Ben White, man. I don't think he's that great. He's really slow, sluggish. He doesn't watch football. And this just shows that he doesn't watch football because he didn't even have the basics right yesterday, together with Saliba and Gabriel. Because I didn't know. I noticed that you didn't mention Saliba. Where is Saliba? He's supposed to be our best defender. You know, you let a guy like McGinn spin and have that much time in the 16 when you have two solid defenders in Gabriel and Saliba going towards a player that is going to pass the ball anyway. You're double teaming, triple team a guy who's going to cross the ball, and you're leaving Ben White with a guy. Then Ben White doesn't open up his body. He keeps himself compact to the point that McGinn just can't shoot the ball next to him. You know, it's. I think all our defenders were shocking yesterday. I'm not gonna blame Zinchenko because that's the easy way to do it. You know, blame Zinchenko, but I think Saliba and Gabriel were shocking yesterday, and I think we're letting them go off easily because no, I don't think they were good, and I think they're equally to blame of what happened yesterday.
I think because I'm just gonna watch the game. Sorry, the game.
The goal.
I'm just gonna watch the goal again. Yeah, because I thought Saliba had a man on him.
He did have a man.
He
For
was,
the goal, I
he
don't
was
blame
marking a
Saliba.
man, so I can't blame Saliba for the goal per se. But definitely, I think where you can blame the defenders yesterday, Saliba and Gabriel, was their passing.
But even that, I think that
they
was
looked
like
nervous.
That was like 2 or 3. No, I think I don't know. I actually thought Saliba shut down Ollie Watkins really well yesterday.
Yeah, I can't fault. I
Sorry,
can't fault Saliba on a defensive point of view.
Yeah.
Defensively, I think he was good. Same with Gabriel. I don't think Gabriel was bad defensively. In that one instance where we had the goal, yeah, we had to. He had to close in on Bailey. He had to. That was he had to. If he didn't and he stood back, then people would say, "What the fuck are you doing? Why are you not closing him down?" So he had to. I think where it is in regards to the passing and progressing the ball forward like they normally do to get somebody. I feel like at times they faltered on that aspect of the game. But the defensive side, I can't sit there and say that defensively we were shocking at the back in regards to the centre backs.
Yeah, but you also know that the reason why we were not composed on the ball was also because of the passing from our back, from Saliba and Gabriel and stuff. So apart from the defending, apart from the goal, Zinchenko was not our worst defender yesterday. It was Ben White,
overall,
it was Saliba, and it was Gabriel. I don't agree that they had such a good game defensively overall because we were exposed many times. We were lucky to not concede more goals, And even though, okay, let me put this into a plate for you. They were shit yesterday. Let's be real. They were not good yesterday. We made them look good because we were shocking at the back. We gave them too many chances because of us, not because they were too creative. John McGinn, his goal was a turn and a shot with every time he got. You know why? Because our defenders are not like, okay, I'm going to give a stupid comparison, but Jaap Stam, my Dutch brother, my Dutch uncle, maybe. That guy, when you pass him, you're going to feel his foot. You're going to feel his studs. You're going to feel his something, And our guys like to sit back and wait for the ball and wait for someone to shoot the ball to them instead of putting your foot out and tackling for the ball, not giving them any chance to do that in the first place. And that was because of our defense yesterday. We know Zinchenko is bad defensively, and we have Gabriel and Saliba to compromise for his bad defense, especially Gabriel because he's on the left side. But both of them were shocking yesterday. We let them bad Aston Villa team play their football because we were not solid at the back overall.
I don't know.
The only thing. Yeah. Now go on, bro.
The reason I disagree is because I think we nullified Aston Villa after that goal. Like we controlled most of the game. We controlled the possession. We had so many attempts, and I remember a couple of times like Ollie Watkins and all came up against Saliba and Gabriel and lost that battle. Yes, there were a couple of times when they gave the ball away stupidly. Like I remember that Saliba thing when he tried to pass it to Raya and ended up giving it in between them and it went out. I think there was another time when Gabriel also gave the ball away like stupidly, but outside that, I don't think we were exposed. I can't remember I'm trying to remember like a proper like clear-cut Aston Villa chance that they had after that goal, obviously, and I can't remember it.
Okay, let me ask you one thing then. Did you have the idea? Sorry?
No, Saad was saying only one was what?
No, the only other clear-cut chance that they had was the one for Ollie Watkins. Do you remember when Diaby passed it in and Ollie Watkins had the shot? That's the only one. Okay. This is why I can't blame Saliba and Gabriel yesterday defensively were good.
Okay, so
they weren't bad.
When they came forward, did you have the sense of security like we normally had with our backside? This game specifically. Did you have
not
the
gonna
idea
lie.
of, oh, okay, after that first goal, I feel relaxed now. I don't fear them coming forward anymore? Because I didn't.
Honestly, I did. In the first 10 minutes of the goal, no, I didn't, because they just scored. The crowd was hyped up. Throughout the second half, the only time I had that fear is the one where Diaby went in the second half and he had a dangerous attempt. That's it. And I was like, oh, there was one where Diaby came from the right, and I was like, oh my god, I hope we don't concede a second. Outside that, honestly, I wasn't that concerned at all defensively. I was annoyed with what we're doing up front more than anything else.
This is the thing. This is the thing, though. Yeah, with Saliba and with Gabriel, that first 15 minutes, yeah, I was nervous because I was like, they just scored. I was like, the defense looks shaky. You lot came into the halftime and said the exact same thing. It looked like both teams were nervous in that first half. Both teams were nervous. We were nervous towards the start of the game, and then they were nervous throughout the first half at points. Now, when it comes to defensively, Saliba and Gabriel are always going to hold their line. For me, they've put confidence. They've allowed me to put confidence in them that they will always hold that line. And even if someone gets past Saliba, I know that Saliba can catch them, because I've seen Saliba even cover players that have come on Gabriel's side, and he still caught them. So for me, I won't lose that confidence. I won't be nervous when Saliba and Gabriel are holding their line. The only thing I blame Saliba and Gabriel on yesterday was progressing the ball forward. They were too slow. Yeah. They weren't making passes fast enough. They weren't thinking on their head like they normally do. You know, Saliba normally trying to put passes over to Saka, trying to put passes it quickly to Ben White. I felt like Ben White and Saliba yesterday, the communication it sucked. It sucked. Same thing with Gabriel. Gabriel wasn't able to get the ball forward into Zinchenko a lot of times. He's trying to pass to Martinelli. Like, bro, yes, pass it on to Martinelli when you have no other options. But when Zinchenko is there, and Zinchenko is an option for you, my brother, pass it to Zinchenko. Zinchenko will pass it. He's a better passer, as shown yesterday by that pass to Havertz, which, by the way, was remarkable.
And to Martinelli. And the pass he gave to Martinelli over the top.
Martinelli. But that pass to Havertz was chef's kiss. Chef's fucking kiss. Because, bro, to get Havertz at the right time, the amount of runs, and sorry guys, I'm gonna quickly move it on to the other topic, because obviously the amount of runs that Havertz made yesterday that we did not give him the ball for was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And the one time we give Havertz the ball over the top with that Zinchenko pass, funnily enough, the one time we do it, he crosses the ball in on the floor, and Martin Odegaard has an open shot, clear shot, ready for him to shoot it into the goal. Why we don't use, and I think this takes, I don't know why he's not being found. Whether the players aren't seeing his runs, whether they're not smart enough to see his runs, because De Bruyne would see that run. A lot of these runs that Havertz makes, De Bruyne is seeing them. And De Bruyne is putting the ball over the top. And De Bruyne is getting the ball over to him maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 times a game. He'll get the ball over, because he makes these runs between the left back and the centre back. And often between, he even makes, it's between the right back and the centre back. So between their right back and their centre back, that half space, I think they call it the half space. I'm not a tactical, so I don't really know the terms in it. But that half space, that is where he normally does his little run. And that's why we see Havertz getting into the back post a lot of times, because he occupies that space. Yeah. So the fact that we can't find him is embarrassing. The fact that we can't find him is sickening. The fact that we can't find him is the reason why we'll falter a lot this season if we don't start to see these runs. Because that's why
You know why?
Chances.
Yeah, you know why? We miss a creative midfielder, man. We miss an actual decent creative midfielder and other players that actually take responsibility. For example, if we look at Zinchenko, we can blame his defense, but he's one of those people that gives the most the best balls he can give, a person can give in this team. Is Zinchenko is one of them. Mm-hmm. And I think Ødegaard does that not enough. And I think Rice yesterday was not good as well with that, especially. I thought yesterday was one of those games that we missed Partey a little bit because of his progression and how he takes the ball forward. I think Rice was a little bit shook yesterday. He didn't do that much. So we lacked not only a little bit of that creativity, we also missed a player with cojones who actually likes to give those balls, even though he can make a mistake. I look at you, Ødegaard, because Ødegaard was shocking yesterday, absolutely shocking.
T, don't say any more on it. We are going to get to that. That guy has his own section, which I have gold plated Ødegaard on top of it. Yeah. He has his own section. Don't worry about
it. And just to add to this as well, Havertz was our man of the match yesterday of our team. Yeah. Havertz was our best player. You should be ashamed of yourself to call yourself the captain of Norway and Arsenal and be shit worse than Kai Havertz, bro. Kai Havertz, okay? That's all I'm going to say about Ødegaard for now. But Havertz was our best player yesterday. We failed him because he made good runs. He picked the ball from midfield, ran forward. I didn't know Havertz had this much pace because he was picking up the ball, going forward like he was someone else, something that Ødegaard should have done. But Havertz is not there for that in particular because Jesus drops deep. Havertz goes forward. You need to find Havertz at the end of the day, but nobody did him. Nobody found him at the end. Jesus didn't. Ødegaard didn't. Our fullbacks didn't. Zinchenko had one amazing pass to Martinelli, I think, but apart from that, he didn't find Havertz as well. Havertz played good yesterday, and it's a shame that our quote-unquote best players didn't join him to finish off their chances and at the end win the game, and that's it. Yeah, and the fact that you make Havertz the best player of this game, you should be ashamed. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's crazy. That's crazy. The fact that Havertz is the best player in this game, and the fact that Havertz was able to get into so many possessions, and this is the thing, yeah, because I'll be put it right, because I've got another game where this exact same thing was happening, yeah. He said the balls we gave to Martinelli and Havertz were so poor and so late. Do you know why? Yeah. Do you know another game that the balls to Martinelli were so late and so poor? Yeah, the Burnley game at home. The Burnley game at home, where Martinelli is standing there, calling for the ball. At one point, he's standing there like this, showing because he's like, bro, I'm calling for the ball. Obviously, under my breath, not trying to tell the freaking defender that I'm calling for the ball. You got to make me go like this, just so you can fucking see me. Pass me the ball. Pass me it early. I want it quick. I want it when I'm just on his shoulder. Just over his shoulder. I want that ball quick so I can go in behind. I've got the pace. So just put the ball over. I'll catch the ball. I have the pace to run in behind. But the fact that we can't spot these runs is concerning. Very concerning. And this is the reason why, because Rice as well was one of these players yesterday that couldn't couldn't pass the ball properly. He couldn't see these runs. Yes, he saw, I think, 2 runs from Saka. One was offside and one was onside, which turned out to be nothing anyway. Yes, he pointed out 2 from Saka. Yes, 100%. But you're on the left side, my brother. You're on the left side. You're not on the right side. You chose, when Zinchenko comes in, he chooses to go onto this left side. He chose to do that. Unless Arteta's chose to do that, then we need to speak about Arteta then, because whoever's chose for Rice to be on this left side, and whoever's choosing to go for 6s instead of a fucking 8 in the January transfer window, and whoever's choosing to decide to fucking to go in for a defensive player instead of a creator for us is sorely mistaken. Because me, you, all of us in these streams are saying we need a creator. We lack a left 8. We lack someone who can give exactly a box to box midfielder, someone who can give the assistance to Martinelli on that side. Yeah, because how many times do I see Jesus, and we'll get onto the attack in itself, but how many times do I see Jesus run and occupy that space where Xhaka used to occupy this season? How many times do you guys see that in a game where Jesus moves from the middle, yeah, and then occupies the space just in that little half space, yeah? This is how crazy it is. This is what's going on. We have a massive problem with that left 8 position and that box to box. We are screaming for it right now, even more than a striker. I'll tell you right now. Although people want a striker, and I do agree we need both. I know, Ashraf, you're gonna say we need both. We need both. I know, but you see, I clocked on there, bro. I've heard it 2-3 times now. I know we need both. I know we need both. But right now, the way we are looking going into this January transfer window, they have to prioritize one of these positions.
That would be midfielder for me.
Which is the midfielder. We need a box.
100%. 100.
Exactly.
Bro, yesterday's
a game is won at the midfield. That's the saying. A game is won at the midfield, and this season our midfield has not been solid. We can say everything about what we want about Xhaka, but he brought exactly what we needed for that team with Partey and Odegaard, and we didn't replace him in the correct way, and that's our fault. And now we have instability in our midfield, which creates this problem of not being clinical enough, not seeing free players like like Havertz and Martinelli. You know, it's we're too slow and sluggish. And yes, Havertz is also a part of that because he's also one of those slow and sluggish players. We can say anything about we want about Xhaka, but he was one of those players that had cojones, and that's exactly what this midfield lacks right now.
And the fact that we got rid of, sorry, Ashraf, because I know you
no, please.
I'm just gonna say this as well, yeah. The fact that we got rid of Xhaka, yeah,
and replace him,
and now we're trying to put squares in round pegs, in round holes. Sorry, we're trying to put squares in round holes.
It's crazy.
Exactly, square pegs in round holes. Are we skunked? Are we crazy? This system is like an engine. It's like an engine. So let's say, for instance, let's say, for instance, you have the engine, yeah, and you take the pistons out. The engine's not going to work. And let's say it's a Ferrari engine. Let's say we have a Ferrari engine right now, yeah, and I take the pistons from the Ferrari engine out, yeah, I put them to the side. The Ferrari pistons are onto the side, yeah? I go and get pistons from a Nissan Micra, and I go and put them in that Ferrari engine. Is that going to fucking work? No, it's not.
Nope.
No, it's fucking not. The engine's going to start to fucking get fucked up. And that's exactly what's happened with this team. No, but it's
especially
that's the truth, though, Ashraf.
I like the analogy. It's on Micra.
Especially
like a tiny
this is
car.
fucked. This is fucked.
Especially if your number 10 is a BMW cylinder that breaks every year, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when that happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, look, I mean, for me, right? By the way, even that Rice one that you're talking about to Saka, like Rice gave it late. Like the moment he got the ball and Saka was signaling and making the run, if Rice played it immediately, because Saka ended up scoring it. So, but anyways, look, I think what Aston Villa did is super smart yesterday, because when they were playing with that high line for like 10 minutes, I was like, yo, this is suicidal. We're going to break that high line at some point, right? Because Tottenham did a similar high line as well, maybe not as crazy, Actually, no, Tottenham's was crazier, and Chelsea were breaking through. Yes, a lot of times Vicario was coming off and getting rid of the ball, or they were catching people offside. But when you play with that high line, at some point you're going to be able to break it. But I think Unai Emery studied us so well, and he's like, "Yo, these guys don't have Partey." Because I promise you, if we had Partey yesterday, we have like 3 or 4 chances, onside chances. That's 1-on-1 with Emi Martinez, right?
Good evening.
100%, yeah, hey, good evening. But he probably studied our team. He's like, if we play a high line, who's gonna spray that long ball from their team? No one does it. Yeah. Saliba and Gabriel, okay, they tried. They're not great at it. Odegaard will not try it. Rice will probably not do it. Havertz will definitely not do it. The only danger is Zinchenko, and he did it a couple of times. But unfortunately, we just couldn't finish. We just couldn't get it properly behind the line and actually make it count for something.
Yes.
So when you're
And
playing,
that's why I said Partey was essential for this game.
100%.
Because, like you said, when Rice drives the ball forward, he passes the ball sometimes too late. Exactly what you said yesterday, Ashraf. When you said I get pissed off about Rice when he does this. He sometimes passes the ball so late that he doesn't pick the right pass at the end. He just passes the ball to the guy next to him, just like what Odegaard does.
Yeah, 100%. And you know whose fault this is? Like, this all comes down to Arteta and the board for me, right? Because the fact of the matter is, Chaka last season is someone who could have done this. Chaka last season is someone who's done it repeatedly again and again and again. So when you let go of Chaka because he wanted to leave and all that stuff, fair enough. I'm also an advocate of never keeping players if they don't want to leave, because they might not give you their all. Like, some people are professionals and they'll still perform no matter what happens. But if you let go of Chaka, why haven't you got a box-to-box midfielder who can do that? I don't fully blame Declan Rice because that's never been his game. He's a guy who likes to break up play, like, physical, tries to put in tackles and all that stuff. He wins the ball back for you.
Angry player.
Exactly. He'll win the ball back for you and give it to someone who can spray those passes around. For me, that would have been Thomas Partey if he was available. I said this in a space today. I was like, if this freaking biscuit could stay fit all season, I promise you we would have been 4 or 5 points ahead right now, because I can see him giving us like 6-7 points extra because of the solidity and because of how creative he is and how he gets the ball from the center backs and beats the press, and he actually tries to give progressive passes like Zinchenko. And we don't have a single player in our team right now in that 8 or 6 position who's good at that. And that's someone who could have exploited that yesterday against Aston Villa.
Our players are lacking personality. That big man, big dog personality. We have a lot of shy boys, a lot of kind, nice people in our team, and we replace. I'm just going to give an example. Xhaka, a very angry Albanian asshole. Maybe he's one of those angry people. He's basically an asshole to people all the time, on the pitch and in the dressing room. If you do something wrong, he is in your face telling you what you did wrong. That's the Albanian in him. That's the fighter in him. And who did we replace him with? A shy boy. A shy boy, Neil from the In-Betweeners. That's what we basically replaced him with. And if you look at our midfield, yes, we have Rice, but he is also a nice guy. He is not a fighter. He is not an asshole. And sometimes you need these kinds of personalities in your team to bring character to that team, so he can push you when needed, when you're being in your shell. Someone needs to break that bubble. And players like Xhaka are those players. And don't get me wrong, I don't rate Xhaka that much, but these players can be vital in a team to just bring that how should I say?
The dog in the game.
Not the dog, but also the maturity. The maturity.
Yeah.
Because players like that are mature.
But T, you know who else is that actually? Like, I have to give him credit for this. Havertz is that player. Havertz is someone who'll get up on your face. You saw how he fought with he had that altercation with Emi Martinez. He's had it a couple of
that's the only time, man.
No, but he has.
How many times did Xhaka get a red card?
I've seen him do it with like Chelsea and other team and against many opponents. Like, when he tries to like get up in people's faces and stuff. Look, in the end, obviously, like we need more people. Our midfield, if you look at it, is so damn lightweight. The only physical players that we have is someone who's always in a freaking hospital bed in Partey, and the other one is Rice. Everyone else is so lightweight. We don't have like physically tough midfielders. And look, it's okay because City don't have either, but at least City have so much quality in different places that it compensates for it. We need that. We need that.
And City have people who are willing to do the dirty work, i.e.,
Yeah,
Rodri.
100%.
Rodri is always up for a battle. Rodri is always up to be. If my midfielders next to me aren't doing the dirty work, that's fine. I'll go in and I'll put an attack on someone's ankle. I'll go in on someone's
Rodri is an asshole, bro. He's an asshole.
Exactly.
He's exactly what you need. Yeah.
So you need
Ruben Diaz asshole.
And even guys, even if you just look at last year, yeah, at West Ham, yeah, a lot of the times how West Ham used to be in the midfield, yeah, you'd have Souček right next to Rice, yeah. They're playing as that double pivot, yeah. Rice might go forward maybe once or twice, of course. Rice is gonna go forward. He's gonna spread his wings and try and go up the pitch. But that was the double pivot, was him and Souček. So if you want to play in this system where the left back comes in, then Rice has to be the 6. Rice cannot be the 8. It's not possible. It's not possible because the 8 in this system needs to have good passing, as well as do the defensive work, but also occupy the space near Martinelli and that half space I was talking about. Yeah, Havertz is not that. Havertz hasn't got the defensive awareness to be the 8. He hasn't. He may be able to do the attacking side of it.
Attacking side, yeah, for sure.
But the defensive side, he hasn't got the defensive awareness. He's not able to do that.
Yeah, but Saad, Jesus does that job for him. Jesus does that part of this job for him. You know, Havertz goes forward.
But I don't want Jesus to do that either, because even Jesus is a striker. Like, he's not going to have that defensive. This is why I'm saying that obviously now it's pointless because Tomiyasu is injured. Again, another biscuit. But if we had Tomiyasu available, I would be begging for that Zinchenko-Rice pivot, because Zinchenko as a left back is average defensively, but as an 8, he actually would be a lot better. You guys remember, Chaka was literally moved from DM to CM, and his defensive work was a lot better because he had way less pressure. You guys remember when he was a DM 2-3 seasons ago? The number of red cards, the number of penalties, the number of rash tackles, so erratic because he didn't have the defensive discipline. But as an 8, the defensive pressure is less. When he does have to come back and defend, he does it well because Partey takes most of that pressure. We could be doing something similar now by playing Zinchenko there, because the fact is, yesterday we saw it, and we've seen it many times before. Zinchenko is one of our best progressive passers in the team, right? Along with Partey, maybe along with Odegaard when he drops deep and all that stuff. He's so good at getting the ball under pressure, beating the man with the press, carrying it forward. The number of times he's looking forward to see Martinelli make a run or Jesus make a run, and he will play that risky inverted pass and all that stuff. Zinchenko in the 8, I think, would do really well for us temporarily until we go in the market. Obviously, now Tomiyasu has fucked up these plans by, again, getting injured, getting another calf strain. Bro, drink some water and go do some leg work, man. I don't get it. This third or fourth calf injury. What kind of calves do you have? Your leg's like a camel leg or something. It's annoying, bro. Like, honestly. And I'm done going in the market. People are like, oh, get Pedro Neto. I don't want like these hospital players, bro. Give me someone who's physical, who's ready to play, and who you know what? This might sound harsh. Give me someone who's ready to play while injured. I don't want these kind of flaky players who's like, oh, one little touch injured, getting injured in training, getting injured when I'm sprinting, getting injured when I'm waking up from bed.
Injured in training is crazy.
It's crazy. Injured at one time, okay, fair enough. Anomalies happen. 3, 4, 5 injuries in training. Don't make it seem like we're doing. What are we running like? Freaking 10,000-kilometer sprints,
bro. He's this guy. The way they make Arteta sound, yeah, is like Arteta just stands there, yeah, and he's got these guys doing sprints back and forth, 10 hours a day. That's how they make it sound, bro. That's not what's happening. It's not what's happening. Partey has to go. I still believe that Tomiyasu can get over this. I still believe Tomiyasu can get over this.
He's got age on his time. He's got time on
exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's still young, so I believe he can get over.
We'll see him around. March.
Eh?
Sorry. Oh,
I
I
didn't
said,
even
geez.
oh,
hear
we'll
that.
see him around March. Let's give
Who?
him the time, you know.
No, no.
Who's
Bro,
that?
but
No, no,
look,
no.
It's
He'll be back. He'll be back. He'll
read,
be back.
I've
He'll
read
be
Tomiyasu.
back.
today that he might go
Tomiyasu.
to the Asian Cup, bro. If he ends up, by the way, T, I think you're hearing us a bit late, if I'm not wrong. I think you're hearing us a bit delayed.
Should I leave and
I
join
read
again?
Yeah, come back
maybe,
out.
yeah,
Come
because
back
you're
in.
hearing us
Okay,
like
let me
3-4
do.
seconds later. Bro, I read today that he might be going to the Asian Cup. Bro, if that happens, I'll be fuming. I said this today in a space. I was like, this might sound harsh and very, very selfish, but from Arsenal's point of view, from Arsenal's perspective,
Fuck
I'll be
that
like,
shit.
hey, yeah, fuck that. You're not going to the Asian Cup because you're telling me you're gonna be injured for 6 weeks. So you're back like first week or second week of Jan, and Asian Cup starts in the second week of Jan. So you're gonna be back in the second week of Jan and then immediately go to the Asian Cup when we have Liverpool and all these other teams coming up.
Fuck that shit.
Nah, bro. We are the ones paying
Fuck
your salary,
that
not
shit.
them. So I'm sorry. If it was up to me, if Arsenal can make that choice, I'll be like, bro, sorry, we don't want you to go to the Asian Cup. Because this is getting ridiculous. We're in a title.
I don't know why clubs don't do this. Why don't clubs just like, bro, you're not going. As a club that pays you, I'm sorry, but you're not going. I'm sorry.
100%.
You're not going. If I'm Arsenal right now and I'm Arteta, I'm gonna pull Tomiyasu in. I'm gonna be like, listen, you're going through in your recovery from this injury very well, and we're looking to see you hopefully rejoin with the team, maybe for the Liverpool game to try and play in the Liverpool game, whatever. Yeah, we want you to stay, and unfortunately, I have made the decision that I do not want you to go to the Asian Cup, and as the person who's paying you, you ain't fucking going nowhere, brother.
Yeah.
Realistically, this is just me letting you know. This
Bro,
they do that. I have a choice.
They do that with the Olympics. Like for you to go and play for your country in the Olympics, the club has to approve it, right? Because it's an additional tournament. It's closer to when the season starts and all that stuff. Again, I know like people might be judging us and saying, "Yo, that's incredibly harsh. Representing your country is one of the best things and all that stuff." But I'm sorry, if you want to play for your country, then stay fit. You've already been injured twice this season. And we're
Party, I don't give a fuck about him. Party, I don't give a fuck about him. Party is gone. I think he's gonna get. He's getting sold in January. So
Until he's back.
I'm already looking. But I'm already looking at a future without Thomas Partey. I already understand that. Yeah.
But I swear, and I agree. But if Partey returns, I will be shamelessly supporting him again because
obviously
there are a lot of games where we miss that kind of player. That's why I rave about players like Fofana because I love Rice. I rate Rice, but he needs that. If we want to play him at 6, double pivot with a player that can progress better than him, that would be the best scenario. And I think Partey, if he returns, it would be. I will shamelessly welcome him back. That's what I'm saying.
These amount of weeks that this guy's been off, yeah,
it's annoying, bro.
And then I'm seeing videos of this fucker on bikes, turning up to music. This man's got music playing in the back. A man's on the bike going crazy. Like, you know how you see somebody doing a light cycle, if that's how you say it. He's cycling on the mobility bike, or whatever it is, in the gym. But it's just a light one. You know what I mean? This guy, bro, he's going in. I'm seeing movement, bro, like fully. You know when you sprint as on a bicycle.
That's an ACL right there.
They call it a sprint, yeah. I'm like, bro, relax. And if you are that well to do that, broski,
then get the hell back.
Why the fuck are you not on the pitch? Why the fuck are you not on the pitch? Fuck that shit. Right now, I need you for now. Yeah, you're gonna be gone in January. Salamu alaikum. But for now, I need you on the fucking pitch.
Especially that Liverpool game, bro. Especially that fucking Liverpool game.
That shit,
bro.
Fuck all that shit.
The thing is, this guy, like, even like when you finally start thinking like maybe there's a system without him, and he comes back against Man City, plays those 20 minutes, incredible, so good on the ball, and obviously sets up our goal. You're like, this is what we're missing, and then the guy gets fucking injured again. And Shaw, I'm sorry, I saw the comments, swap deal Partey for Vlahovic. Bro, I don't want any of that. I want us to get a midfielder.
Nah.
If we're letting go of Partey, we need a midfielder. I'm even willing to sacrifice getting a striker this Jan if we can get a top quality midfielder, because the fact is we do have options up front. If Jesus is not performing, we can put Havertz there. If Havertz is not performing, we can play Trossard there. Nketiah, see, I didn't even name Nketiah. Nketiah should not even be in the list whatsoever. 100%, he should not even be in the list. If we figure out a way to get Saka and Martinelli to actually play well, to actually make those runs behind and all, we'll get the goals.
Bro, we're finished when we had to bring on Eddie Nketiah to save us.
Bro, it's crazy. Never like it works. It works maybe against like the smaller teams, maybe
against Ipswich, maybe, or maybe Blackpool.
No. Even in the Premier League, against your Crystal Palace, your Fulham, so all, it'll work. Right?
No, not Crystal Palace.
No, he against Crystal Palace, didn't he win us the penalty? I think he won us the penalty.
He did.
Yeah, he did. But, okay, fair enough.
But I'm saying, and Fulham, against Fulham, he came off the bench, he scored a goal, and I think he didn't set up the penalty, but he scored the.
No, he scored the goal, and then Vieira got the penalty.
Vieira got the penalty, exactly. Vieira was man of the match, then he came off the bench. But my point is, against good teams like Liverpool, like City, or informed teams like Aston Villa that are currently like top level, he never will come off the bench and do something. He will never have that kind of impact because he's just not that kind of clutch player. Like, I know he scored goals for us against Chelsea and United and all that stuff, but it's not something you're going to see on a consistent basis, bro. Like, it's annoying as hell. But my point is, midfielder is a must this Jan. It's 100% a must this Jan, especially a box-to-box creative midfielder.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro, 100%. And listen, I think it's time to move on to the quickly. We're going to speak on the Ødegaard segment before we go into the attack.
Yeah.
And I'll just start off by saying Martin Ødegaard yesterday was shocking, to say the least. Shocking, embarrassment. That performance there warrants him to give that salary for that week. Go and give it to fucking. Actually, you know what? You're saved. And I'll tell you why Ødegaard is saved from giving his salary to charity. Donate it. Donate it to the Palestine and Islamic Relief. Yeah? The only reason you're saved, is because of that cross that you done for Declan Rice on the weekday. Yeah, to win us the game against Luton. It's the only reason you're saved. Because best believe, if it was just based on the performance that I saw against Aston Villa, your head is on the chopping block, mister. Your head is on the fucking chopping block. To miss two shots that were as clear as day. And then also to put in a stinker like that. And I'll tell you what, this is the reason why I wanted to start Trossard instead of Havertz. Although Havertz had a good game, this is why I wanted to start him.
Why not start Trossard over Ødegaard?
Yeah, exactly.
We always say this, but it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen, guys.
Which is insane.
Yeah, but logically speaking, if we live in the perfect world, yeah, and you could replace him for one of our midfielders, who would you replace him with? Ødegaard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Havertz was not the problem. We can change Trossard for Havertz. He wasn't at fault yesterday. It was Ødegaard.
Yeah.
And and that change that Arteta made. I'm sorry that I keep because every time I talk I think of other things.
My bad.
Abby's going crazy. Abby is just crazy.
No. That's not true at all.
Sooner or later, Vieira will play.
Sorry, Abby, that's a howler, bro. That's a howler.
Hey.
That's a howler, bro. Ødegaard has a lot of good moments in him.
I rate the optimism.
Yeah, 100%. But guys, what were your thoughts, man? Because I'm embarrassed.
Ashraf, you go first because I want to finish this off.
Yeah, I mean, you see, the thing is, football is a lot about moments, right? Like sometimes you could be silent for majority of the game and you have that one important moment and that changes how we look at you. And the fact is, when you are playing in the Premier League and when you're challenging for the title, the margins are so small that you need to make sure you show up for these moments. Like, because you won't always get them. But when these moments come, You need to be ready. And for that, this is why I highly rate someone like Drogba, right? Because Drogba, right, a lot of times in finals and stuff, I'm sorry, I'm going to like another example, but I'll link it.
No, that's fine.
Because with someone like Drogba, right, a lot of times he might not have the greatest season, but when he comes to some of these finals, these pressure moments, and he has one moment, he'll actually sees it, and that changes the whole perspective of how you look at him, right? That Bayern Munich Chelsea final, they didn't do shit. Chelsea were dominated. They played dog shit, park the bus football. They went down that one moment. He's like, I'm gonna step up. He stepped up, took the corner, and got it in. That yesterday, Odegaard had two of those moments to change it for us. And let me tell you this: if he scored in the first half, the chance that he missed in the first half when Kai Havertz squared it in and Jesus set it up for him, I promise you, I think we would have gone and won the game because it would have been 1-1 in the. It would have been 1-1 in the first half. Aston Villa would probably have come out a bit more and given us chances. And we probably would have not been that gung-ho as well. We'd have probably sat a bit reserved and tried to counter. And I think we would have been able to catch them. When he caught the ball, first of all, I heard what you said. He should have taken it with his right foot first time, right? You didn't want to do that. You wanted to bring it on your stronger foot. That's okay. Because you still managed to cut in and get an open space to shoot. Why are you now shooting at the side where Martinez has covered? That right side, which is Martinez's left, was wide open, and even Douglas Luiz, he didn't close it. He just stood there. So if you took a shot to the right side, that's done. You didn't even need to shoot it with full power, just like place it there. No one would have got it. And then the second one was just as criminal. Why the hell? You had so much space, you could have literally controlled it, put it a bit front and smacked it with your left foot, or just played with your right. And it annoys me, bro. Like, I understand players who are dominant on like one foot, but it annoys you when you have good scoring opportunities on your weaker foot and you never take it. I don't rate footballers that do that kind of shit, to be honest. This is why I love Saka's ability to play with both feet. Because Saka sometimes will have a shot that he can take with his right, and he will never cut it back on his left. He'll shoot it with his right foot. He had that opportunity twice, and in both cases, he didn't take it with his right foot. And he didn't place it with his left foot either. And for me, that would have changed the whole perspective of the game. I promise if he took those two chances, none of us would be coming here saying, oh, what a bad game. Our whole perspective would have changed. Then we would be remembering the other things he did well in the game. Oh, he dropped deep and got the ball here. He linked up well over here. But now I don't remember any of this because the only thing that keeps popping up in my head is you missed two sitters that could have got us back in the game. And for me, bro, like, we had Fabregas as captain. You guys remember, he was young, right? He was even younger than what Odegaard is right now. But Fabregas came up clutch so many times. So many times when he had the opportunity in big games, bro. Remember that Barcelona game when he got injured, took the penalty while limping and continued playing while limping. Aston Villa came off the bench, scored 2 goals and came off again when he got injured again.
You think we got players that can do that now?
Bro,
we got players that have got the bollocks to do that now.
And here's the thing. Fabregas wasn't even that kind of big, strong, physical guy who could bully. He was like Odegaard's frame. He wasn't that quick. He wasn't that physical.
There's a difference.
But he had aggression and hustle, bro.
No. We all know the difference, yeah? We know the difference. And the difference, I'll tell you what the difference was. The difference was when what's his name? Fabregas. When Fabregas was young, yeah? When he was young. He was a little puppy that just came into the Arsenal.
He played with
the Arsenal Academy, yeah? Do you know who he played with? He played with Vieira.
Henry,
Perez, Lundberg. Yeah, he played with Gilberto Silva. This guy played with fucking Sol Campbell. Yeah? At that point, I think even Martin Keown was still there.
Gilberto Silva,
yeah. Martin Keown was still there at the time, wasn't he?
I'm not sure. He left by then. I'm not sure. Bergkamp was there, I think.
Bergkamp, I think 2005
was his last season.
It was his last season, so he was
when
there.
they won the FA Cup. Yeah.
So these are the players that Fabregas is playing with. Yeah. These are the players that Fabregas is playing with. Any kind of pussy mentality got stripped out of that guy as soon as he came to our club, because I guarantee you they sat him. And as funny as it is, or as bad as it is, he probably did get bullied in the changing rooms a couple of times.
Probably
because he's the young kid. Back in the day, bro, if you were the young kid that came into, and I know this from people that I've spoken to who I know that were professional footballers previously and back in the day, when you were young, bro, and you came into a changing room with men, bro, they would take the piss out of you. They'd make you do little tasks. They say, "I'll go get my shin pads, go get my boots, clean them for me." Bro,
but here's the thing, Saad. Odegaard has played in Madrid with legends of the game. Some of them bigger legends than Arsenal's legends.
And
right?
failed.
Sorry?
And failed.
Look, failed is one thing, but the point is he's played with these guys who have that mentality. So if we're saying Fabregas learned that mentality from these guys, there's so much more that Odegaard could have learned from the guys he played with. He came in at a time where Cristiano was there, when Bale was there, Benzema, Modric, Cruz, Casemiro, Marcelo, Ramos. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking you should also be having that kind of mentality.
Pepe
as well. God. And here's the thing, right? Odegaard in some games has shown that. Like the Luton, if we just look at the Luton game just a few days before that, he did that. He took the game by the scruff of the neck. He was trying to get the ball and dribble from the middle and create chances. So it's all about consistency. My qualm with him is that Fabregas was doing it consistently, week in, week out. He barely had games where he would shy out. He would come out of challenges. He would step away from the challenges, not try to risk and put a proper tackle in there. Mm-hmm. Try to take the ball from the defenders of someone and carry and create something. Odegaard has that ability, and for whatever reason, he's not been doing it consistently, and that for me is a big issue. And this is why last season when people were talking about the KDB comparisons, bro, it was laughable. It was laughable. You know what? Even if Odegaard has the same season he had last year, this year, and the year after, I would never put him on that same level as KDB, because the amount
KDB is another level.
Bro, KDB is the kind of guy who'd say, "Give me the fucking ball. I'm gonna create something right now." Exactly. He was not. He won't hide.
As funny as it is as well. Yeah, sorry, T. I'll let you go. Sorry, bro. As funny as it is, yeah, KDB. As funny as that meme is, yeah, you know, let me talk.
Yeah.
Bro. As funny as it is, that's the mentality that you want. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How is
that? Who was stopping him? Who was stopping him from going? Remember, Fernandinho. And Fernandinho. It's captain.
These are captains, and I think Fernando Bernardo, what's his name again?
KDB.
What's his name?
David Silva.
David Silva, Fernandinho, captain and vice captain, talking to you, saying, "Leave it alone. Go move away from the ref." Bro, this guy's arguing. Nah, let me talk. I want to talk to the ref. Let me talk. And eventually, he did get dragged away. But bro, that's the mentality. It's a mentality. So De Bruyne, you can never compare him. This guy has won them leagues. Forget about games. He's won them leagues, bro. He won them leagues, bro. Here's the difference of just the mentality of last year, yeah, where they're chasing us, to do what he did home and away. Wow. To do what he did home and away. He came to our stadium, slapped us up. When we came back round to their stadium, he said, "Yeah, you lot are here for round two, yeah? You lot are here for round two. Let me lace up my boots for Arsenal, yeah? My little baby. Let me give you a little spank." Bro, this guy fucked us up. The mentality for De Bruyne and Odegaard is different. It's levels.
Bro, and it's not just that. It's not just that Arsenal games. He's done it against Liverpool many times, against Real Madrid, against Chelsea, against United. For me, a player that steps up in the big games, it's a lot more. Even if you disappear in 60% of the season.
I even forgot about this.
Yeah, he did.
Pushed over my manager, bro.
He did. Because by the way, I understand why. Because our manager was wasting time. Our manager took the ball and didn't want to give it to KDB. And KDB's like, yo, what the fuck? They apologize and they hugged each other and all that stuff later. But
yeah,
bro, he's got cojones, bro. He's
no,
got
but
cojones.
that's the game mind. That's it.
Yeah,
100%.
And Odegaard needs to develop that. Odegaard needs to develop that.
I don't give a fuck about relationships and this and that. Yeah, it's game time right now. I'm in game time. I'm in game mode. Yeah, so just leave me alone.
And this is why sorry, the last thing I'll say. This is why I rate Jesus. I said that last time. Jesus is the kind of guy who would say, "Give me the ball." He will turn. Yes, a lot of times he'll miss, and it's annoying as fuck when he misses in front of goal. But he's never shied away from like, "Give me the ball. Let me try and create something." So I will give him that though.
No, 100%. T, go ahead and give your thing about Odegaard.
Oh, T is gonna cook, bro.
Yeah, Martin Odegaard. When we first loaned him, I was a bit skeptical because we replaced one of my favorite players because of the fact that he has qualities that Martin Odegaard lacks. One of them is a weak foot. the something that simple he lacks. The mentality, because Odegaard doesn't have that. The leadership, how to talk. Cojones, the main thing he doesn't have, but ESR has. We benched him for this guy and we gave him a chance. And the first time I saw him, I was like, okay, this is not that much of an improvement. It kind of reminds me of the Ramsdale Raya situation. You know, you replace one player with another who was not that much better. In my opinion, he's not even better. But hey, that's my opinion. That's a conversation for another day. And then we bought him for a good price. You know, you would say he's a bargain in these days. In this
current market, yeah.
Yes, in this current market. Sorry, I just had a brain fart there. In this current market, you would say it's a bargain, and I would normally agree. But why would Real Madrid sell him for that cheap in the first place? You know why? Because that guy. And why didn't Sociedad buy him at the end? He's not that expensive. We're not talking about a 60, 70 million player here. You know? Why didn't Sociedad buy him afterwards? Because this guy is one word, solar guard. This man plays when the sun shines. And there's a meaning to this. The sun shines when we're up front. The sun shines when we play shit teams. The sun shines when we don't have pressure. And this guy, when these three things happen, he disappears. Just like the Avatar. When we need him the most, he vanished. You know? And that's the story of Martin Odegaard. Okay? This guy disappears. He has he's not consistent. You know, his only thing he's consistent in is disappearing. Casper the Ghost. You know? And every time I see this guy play like this, and I think, why is this guy our captain? How is this guy captain of Norway? Even Norse people don't rate this guy that much. They say, I don't know, I don't understand why he's our captain. It's just because we don't have that much good players in the national team, you know? And every time we give this guy a free pass, you know why? Because he had that amazing season last year. But that's one season, bro. There's one player called Daniel Guiza. He scored 30 goals in one season, went to another team for 14 million euros. And after that, he only scored 5 goals a season, like a scrub. After a 30-goal season, every player can have a good season. And that is what Martin Odegaard had last season. And this season, we see the Odegaard that is consistent, which is the Odegaard that disappears, which is the Odegaard that has no cojones, which is the Odegaard that wants to play silky and forgets about the fact that sometimes we need to play ugly to win games. You know? And I'm gonna finish off by saying this. I still rate ESR over this guy. And when ESR gets over this injury, I hope Arteta punishes Odegaard for these kinds of shit games, for disappearing, and plays ESR at the 10, the position that he deserves, the position that he never never deserved the fact that to get dropped for Odegaard anyway. I've never seen Odegaard as an upgrade, and I hope Odegaard gets ESR as a competition because that's the way to get the best out of this player. Because now he doesn't have competition. He is the captain. He has the best life of everyone in that team. Even though he disappears, Arteta will still say, "I love him," just like he said with Havertz. "I love him," you know. And that needs to stop. We need to be more ruthless to our favorites as well, because having favorites in a team when you're a title challenging squad is not good. It's always bad. It can always end at negative things, just like what happened with Eddie and Ketia, just like what happened with Reece Nelson when they came on the game yesterday. Did we see our two 100k players? No, because that's also because of fucking Martin Odegaard, because he doesn't have the cojones. He doesn't have that killer mentality that. And when people compared him to KDB, I was like, bro, you cannot be this deluded, man.
Have some shame.
You have some shame, bro. Compare him to another player. You know, McGinn was 10 times the player Odegaard was yesterday. McGinn, a player I took the piss off when we had the predictions. Just imagine that, bro. A Scottish butcher played better than you, and you're supposed to be our captain? You're supposed to be that guy that earns that big contract right now? I'm done. I'm actually done with him being a Saka 2.0, because he doesn't deserve to be a Saka 2.0. Drop him when he doesn't deserve it. Final. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Get ESR back, doctors. Give him the fountain of youth. Give him stem cells. Give him everything you can think about. Get this guy better, because I want to see him outshine this fraud. I said it. He's a fraud. I'm done.
Yeah. No, listen. I think at the moment, you know, with what you were saying, man, you're kind of hitting the nail on the head, man. It's shocking from some of the performance that I've seen. The performance that I've seen is shocking. Shocking, man. Shocking. So, guys, listen, we are going to move on to just briefly talking about the. Obviously, we're not going to get into it too much because we still need to do the attack and player ratings before we stop this stream. But just quickly, briefly talking about the decisions that were made yesterday. So, I'm going to put this on the screen quickly. Goal disallowed. When it first, the actual clip, when it comes up, you can actually see it first hits off of his sleeve. I think it hits his shoulder, Cash. So the ball originally hits off of Cash's shoulder or on his sleeve, which is not a handball. I'm fully in agreement with that. Yeah. Then it goes back to hit Havertz on the chest, and then it goes back and hits. It then goes back and then hits Matty Cash again on the hand. Then it hits Havertz's hand. Then it goes in. I think it is Nketiah that puts it in. I don't know if it was actually Havertz that put it in.
I think it was Havertz.
It was Havertz, yeah.
It was Havertz, yeah.
So, in my opinion, sorry, but shouldn't that go back to a penalty if it's hit Matty Cash's hand first? Is that not how the rule goes?
You know what this kind of position is, Saad, and what the biggest flaw is of VAR right now. The original question is, did Havertz make a handball? They skip over this handball and just focus on the fact if Havertz made a handball, and they don't look at the position of Matty Cash because they don't care. The only answer he can get is yes or no. Did Havertz make handball? And that's the answer the VAR can give. He cannot say, "Oh, wait, Matty Cash made hand. Matty Cash made hand." No, because the original question is, did Havertz make handball? The only answer he can give is a yes or a no, and that's the biggest flaw of VAR right now. And that's why they didn't give a penalty for us, because they got the question wrong. The original question that was wrong.
Yeah.
Look, for me. For
me
me personally, I wouldn't say that's a penalty, and the only reason, because I'm trying to be consistent and as fair as possible. If that happened to us, I would be incredibly upset that that's given, right? Because it was too close proximity. I don't think there's much Cash could do to move his hand away. Um, I haven't seen a clear angle where it definitely touches Kai Havertz's hand, but if it does, again, just by the rule of the book, if an attacker handles the ball or it touches the attacker's hand in the box, it's definitely given as a foul for the defending team. So if we just go by that logic, I personally don't think that it should be given as a penalty, and the goal shouldn't have stood there. My qualm with this, though, right, is, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't see a clear angle where it 100% touched Kai Havertz's hand. I saw an angle where it looks like it could have touched his, I think, right or left hand. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was his fingers mostly.
Yeah, but there wasn't a clear angle that showed it definitely touched. And my issue with this, right, is the referee didn't blow the whistle immediately, right? Because if the referee saw that it touched Kai Havertz's hand, as he claims, why didn't he blow the whistle immediately? The ball went in, Havertz started celebrating, and then after that, the referee blew the whistle and said, handball. And because of that, VAR could not overrule what the referee's decision was, right? Because if the referee said goal, stands, play, now VAR has to review and see if that was an obvious error, right? And if the ball 100% clearly touched Kai Havertz's hand, in which case they probably would have given it, right? They would have given the goal, because it would be like the Newcastle goal against us.
They didn't have enough evidence.
They didn't have enough, because the referee gave the goal, right? They had to go and review now and confirm, did the ball clearly, is there a clear angle where it touched Joe Linton's hand? There wasn't a clear angle, so they said, okay, let's look at the foul now, right? And which should have been given. The foul was super clear, but anyways, that's a different thing. So here, I'm just thinking, like, why on earth did the referee not blow the whistle immediately and say, yo, hand, I saw that, foul? Literally, because Havertz scored it and immediately turned to celebrate, and then he saw the referee blew. So that for me is why it's annoying as hell. But if we're saying this should have been a penalty, in my opinion, it shouldn't have been, because I fail to see what Cash should have done in such a situation when in such close proximity.
I think it's a penalty because of the fact, I'll just keep it short and simple, Sad. I think it's a penalty because of the fact that normally when a player gets a position and puts his body in front of a shot, they put their hand behind their back. His hand is not in a natural position right here. And even though Havertz is shooting from close, you shouldn't have your hand there in the first place, buddy. It's not how that works. And even though Emi Martinez is behind him, this still should have been a penalty because his hand is not in a natural position.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I think it still should have been given a penalty because his hand is up. Although his hand is still up by his body. But that's debatable. That's a 50-50. That's the 50-50 out of these calls, yeah? This, however...
Oh my God.
This, however...
Seeing the picture annoys me even more, bro.
This, however, is 100% a penalty. I'm sorry, 100% penalty.
Yeah, great player, Douglas Luiz, man. Really good player. Really worth the money.
He actually had a very good game, to be honest.
No, he was kicking about, man. That's about it. It was only picking players.
He moved the ball really well, but you see this
That's
thing,
100%
right?
a penalty.
Here's what some people were saying, where they were like, "Oh, it's not 100% clear." They were saying, "Oh, it's a bit too soft. He didn't kick him with proper intensity." Blah blah blah. The fact is, no one in the world except for Jesus and Douglas Luiz can know what the intensity of that kick was, right? Because Douglas Luiz will know how much force he put in, right? And Jesus will know how hard the kick felt on his it was behind the shin, right? Just below the calf, so behind the ankle, basically. For me, right, when you look at, and by the way, we were given a penalty for something like that last season against Liverpool. When Jesus went to get the ball, Alcantara kicked him. Even though it was only Alcantara's toe that kicked Jesus' leg, it didn't matter. It was still a penalty because you went to kick the ball, you missed it, and you touched the player instead, right? This was even worse than that. And the funny thing is, a few hours before this, Crystal Palace were given a penalty for Kwanzaa kicking on, I forgot who he kicked, and the penalty was given. Now people are saying, oh, the intensity was more. How do you know there wasn't intensity here? Jesus was putting his leg to control the ball. I could easily argue that Douglas Luiz kick on Jesus is the one that didn't allow Gabriel Jesus to control the ball. I can easily make that claim. And you have no evidence against that. I don't blame the referee for not seeing it and giving it immediately, because maybe sometimes the angle was not clear for him. But what the fuck is VAR there for? Right? What the fuck is VAR there for?
Ashraf, this right here, yeah. The reason why they say there wasn't the right intensity on it. They didn't put enough. He didn't put power in behind the kick. The reason why they say that is because realistically, what these fuckers want, what these fuckers really want to see, yeah. What these fuckers really want to see is Douglas Luiz doing exactly what whoever that player was. I think it was Klein possibly or something like that. I don't remember who it was for Crystal Palace. Do you remember Crystal Palace? Do you remember when the guy volleyed Saka's calf?
Mm-hmm.
I think
He
so.
did a volley with Saka's calf. Yeah, that's what the type of kick that they want. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, you know what? Now it's a penalty. That is a penalty. The other one, nah, that's not. Bro,
and this is why here, man? Actually no, let D go first before I finish with what I'm gonna say, because I'm gonna say something nasty, but
yeah, this is a clear penalty. It just shows I've said this a million times already at previous streams. Best league, worst officiating, most brain dead old men in the world. You gave the most advanced technology. Good job, England. Good job, Premier League. And yeah, it's funny because Liverpool had earlier that day a penalty which was much softer than this, and they got a penalty for that. And Douglas Luiz, you can clearly see where his foot is, where is the ball, and where is his foot. You can clearly see that he only touches Jesus' leg and no contact with the ball. Because how are you going to find the ball what are you going to kick through his leg? Mm-hmm. This is a penalty all day. I know Jesus can be really easily fall to the ground and act for a penalty or free kick or something. But I think the referee thought that this was one of those moments that he thought, oh, he's acting again. Oh, he's doing that shit what he always does again, And
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad, because that's literally what I was going to say. For me, Jesus didn't dive enough. This is why I want diving in football. We need it. Because if Jesus did a backflip and screamed, ah, and held his leg, maybe we would have been given. People complain, footballers shouldn't dive, they shouldn't do this. Nah, bitch, they should, because these referees are so incompetent, right? If I try to act tough and stuff and someone elbows me in the face, right, and I just go and pretend like nothing happened because I'm a tough man, right, the referee's not going to give it to me because he's so incompetent, and the people at VAR are so incompetent. I need to do like a Oscar-worthy sort of acting. I need to bring in my best Denzel Washington, scream at the top of my lungs. And honestly, Jesus was fucked up for that, bro. Because he should have jumped up, fallen on his back, held his leg, and screamed there for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So they're forced to look.
Move diving, so then fucking do your jobs.
Yeah. No, 100%. And listen, the Diego Carlos one, bro, players are just getting chinned nowadays. So
no, that's fine. That's fine. As long as it's not exactly with the elbow, it's okay. You can hit it with the forearm. You can hit with the tricep, apparently, because that's the rule, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that. That's the rule that they apparently said. Because it's not with the elbow, right? So, yeah, it's not really like it's given as a yellow, not a thing. Okay, fair enough. So next time, just make sure you use your forearm and just smack someone in the face, and it's okay. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, Conor McGregor should play football then.
Yeah, 100%.
He should 100%. He would be an amazing defender.
Yeah, exactly. Khabib, just wrestle someone, leave him down, and sit on him.
Choke him out. If it's your forearm, it's okay.
I will smash your boy. You should just be fucking doing that stuff.
Exactly. But yeah, guys, just obviously moving on. Obviously, listen, that's just decisions that were shitty by the ref, but this just becomes a staple in every single Premier League. Any team that talk about their games, they always seem to mention the referees in some sort of capacity because they're so shit. It is the word shit. But yeah, just quickly getting on to the attack before we go to player ratings quickly before we wrap up. Not clinical for me. Not clinical. I feel like all three of them were not clinical enough. to be able to take their chances. Saka and Martinelli, such bad games. I think partially because they were not receiving the ball from midfield, but also they had to be doing better as well themselves. So I'm just going to keep it short and sweet, and I'm going to say, listen, no clinical edge, as the title says. There was no clinical edge in that attack, and they need to buck their ideas up fast, because we are now entering the end game of the season. Yeah, once this December period and January period is over, it's the end game, motherfuckers. And this is where you need to step up. You need to grab your bollocks and you need to fucking start running, because this is where you separate the boys from the men. Yeah, and we're not gonna have what happened last season happen again. Believe you me, it's not happening again. Because if that happens again, bro, there's some serious questions that are going to be asked. Because it's not just one team now. There's 2, possibly 3 teams, depending on how Aston Villa do. I don't think.
Nah.
But there's still 2 other teams that you're fighting with now for this title. 2.
Yeah, and
so 2 your ideas up. Yeah, exactly. The 2 teams that have won the league before.
Yeah,
they've won the league before. You haven't even won the league before. So yeah, I don't know what you guys want to do quickly before we get to player ratings.
Go ahead, T.
For this one.
I think Martinelli was piss poor yesterday. I think he doesn't lift his head every time. He just runs in a straight line and then gives an impossible high ball. You know, it's like you need 2 Peter Crouches to get that ball on top of each other. By the way. And Saka didn't look that bad, to be honest. He had his moments, but not enough. And Gabriel was dropping too deep, way too deep, to the point that Havertz was basically our forward. And it's just one of those games that, just like last game against Luton South, when we screamed, when you and I both said we need Jesus in the box, you know. Yeah. And this was one of those games where he wasn't in the box and was deep all the time. Ødegaard, and that's also partially because Ødegaard wasn't dropping that deep. He just wasn't in it, and that's why Jesus was just disappeared in the midfield instead of being one of our forward players. And that's about it. Basically, I think Martinelli was the worst out of the 3, because I want to see more from Martinelli. It's been so long. I've waited so long.
He had more space. Yeah, he had more space. I think that's the reason why he was probably the worst, is because Konza was having a mare of a game in regards to marking him and not leaving space behind.
But how many games are we going to say this about Martinelli? You know, I just want to see this guy get back in form, because I just think we just let him off with murder a little bit. Because Trossard, when he played left wing, he got like 2 goals in 3 games or something, you know. And Martinelli is our main left wing. And if you're our main left wing, you need to show more, because Martinelli is my favorite player. That's why I'm criticizing him this much, even though we had other bad players. But Martinelli is one of those players that I expect more from. Lift your head. You never lift your head, and that's really annoying me. You're like a dynamo. That's just 100 miles an hour or 0 miles an hour. You don't have a mid space. You know?
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Ashraf?
For me, it's Martinelli was poor, for sure, 100%. We obviously spoke about Odegaard. I think Havertz was the best of our midfielders in attack today. I think Jesus also did all right. I don't think he was that bad. Like, he did create that chance for Odegaard, who obviously like blundered it. But for me, Saka was worse. Like, I actually think Saka was worse, because Lucas Digne got a yellow card in the 56th minute or so, and he was taken off like 22, 23 minutes later. Saka had 20 minutes to go up against a left back that already is on a yellow card and isn't the best defensively, and he didn't do much with that. And honestly, bro, Arteta's my manager. I definitely don't want him out. That's my man. Like, I definitely think he can take us to the promised land. But fuck that favoritism he shows, bro. The fact that Saka, for me, was playing so bad and he still keeps him on, makes no sense. He even got injured and was limping for like 2 whole minutes. And they're all like, no, it's fine. Just walk it off. We need you. Sometimes Salah was taken off by Klopp last season in the 68th minute or so, if you remember, at the Emirates, because he was having a shit game and he was locked up by Gabriel. Pep Guardiola has taken off KDB in a couple of games when he was playing like shit, and has benched him the next game as well. And then
last season at the start of the season, he said come off, and he didn't even play the next game. In the next game,
exactly, he brought him off the bench against Tottenham.
Rodri, all of these players, bro, they all got 100%.
Saka is nowhere near Salah and KDB's levels. So why the hell are we not like treating him in the exact same way? We shouldn't let any player feel that comfortable. Not even Saliba.
Harsh.
No, that's stupid, bro. That's
harsh. That's harsh.
Reaction. I'm actually gonna make
bro. Why not? I'm actually saying some crazy stuff, bro.
I wanted to save something like for the end about being reactionary, but I'll do it after this quickly.
Yeah.
For me, right, Saka was having such a horrendous game. I would have much rather preferred Trossard coming on the right, because he's an ambipedalist. He can play with right and his left feet. Not as much as Cazorla.
No, not even that. You could have put Jesus on the left.
Exactly, you could have put Jesus on the right and play Havertz up front.
And Havertz up front, and then
Trossard behind him.
But what about our 100k player? What about our 100k winger?
Nah, fuck.
You know that we pay 100k. No. I'm talking about Reece Nelson.
Bro, that's also
we pay 100k a week for him. Why don't he play?
The fact that we renewed Reece Nelson, who's a left winger primarily, right? When we have Martinelli and Trossard, right? And we let go of Pepe, who had, because he wasn't that great, but Pepe for me, I rate Pepe higher than Nelson, by the way. Like, this is
miles better than Nelson. Miles better.
Because Pepe, I can think of 6-7 games off the top of my head where I'm like, yo, that guy changed the game for us. That guy won the game for us, or did some major damage that game. I can't think of 6-7 games of Nelson on the top of my head, and I feel Nelson played more games than Pepe in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So and by the way, this is not me bigging up Pepe. I don't rate Pepe; he should have gone. But as a backup and as some cover for Saka on the right, we needed someone. Because guess what? People say get Neto, get Rafinha. These guys are never gonna come to Arsenal because they know Saka is the number one guy, and they're never gonna replace him. They know they're not gonna come and bench Saka, and Arteta will never bench Saka. They're not at that level exactly. So keep someone like Pepe, who's clearly not on Saka's level, but it's good backup whenever we need something different.
Exactly. But you know why? Because he has a big personality. Nelson has none whatsoever. Nelson is a follower, just like Eddie Nketiah, that says, "Oh, okay, Arteta, I'll do what you ask me. I do no problem, you know." But Balogun, Pepe, those guys have personality, bro. Those guys have cojones, and Arteta doesn't want personality in this team. That's why Aubameyang left. That's why other players left with a big personality, big status. You know, Arteta doesn't want those players.
It's fine, bro. It's fine. Listen, Nketiah told Sambi Lokonga, bro, to chill out and wait for his turn, bro. that pays for everything. That pays for all of these 100k a week that we're paying him and giving him the king's number. Yeah, that pays for it.
We'll make another documentary.
Exactly, bro. This man was on Amazon Prime doing up fucking Adam Sandler. Fucking let me fucking have a laugh. Bro, what the fuck?
Well, that's why
about what this guy does.
That's why I always disagreed with people saying, "Oh, we fixed our bench, we fixed our depth." No, we didn't. No, we didn't, bro. Our depth is Eddie Nketiah, Nelson, and Jorginho. You call that depth? I don't. I've never agreed with that. I never agreed with that.
But yeah. Listen, guys. Let's just quickly, because I know Ashraf wants to say something as well. To finish it off, but let's just quickly do player ratings. We'll just smash through them quickly. So Raya, I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna give him a 6, just a standard rating.
6 as well.
I don't think he was necessarily bad. I don't think he was good. He made a couple of saves. That's about it. He didn't really have much to do that game, apart from the few chances that they had. 6.
I agree.
Everybody?
Yeah, 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Ben White, I'm gonna go with a 3.
2.
Yeah, for me as well.
Fair enough. 2. Saliba and Gabriel.
4.
We'll do both for them.
Both 4.
For me, both like hovering between 5 and 6. Honestly, I still don't think they were. I think Saliba handled Watkins well, and Watkins is on form.
I was gonna say 6 for both of them. Because
I'd agree.
Obviously T is saying 4.
T has brought down the average, like he's brought down the curve.
Just going crazy.
He's taking the curve
this
so
is
low.
not average, bro. What Saliba and Gabriel did was not average.
I don't know, man. But yeah, for me, I would say 6. But like, if you guys want to bring it down a bit, I don't mind. But
no, I'll say 4.
No, we all of our own things are
yeah, fair. For me, it's a 6. Yeah,
they're all,
Mhm.
they're all so 6, and then 4. Zinchenko. I'm gonna go with Pros. I'm gonna go with 7.
You guys will not like my rating. Oh, okay, fair. I was gonna say 7 too. Okay,
No. I'm gonna go with a 7 just
Yeah.
because of what he did offensively for us.
Yeah,
He
more than made up for it. Yeah,
he made a mistake. So actually, no, I'm gonna go 6. I'm gonna lower it down because that mistake was unforgivable for me to go.
Yeah, I think maybe 6 or 7 as well. Around that, yeah.
For me, if he didn't make that mistake, I would have said 8 or 9. But because he made the mistake, I brought it down to 7. Because going forward, he was our best player. Like honestly,
he was our second best player all game after Havertz.
Yeah, after Havertz. Yeah, correct.
Declan Rice,
7. Did okay, got some tackles here and there, but like
T was like,
yeah, no, he wasn't that bad.
What are you gonna rate him, T?
You know, for my standards, for the guy that I see as our captain, basically, he didn't perform. I'll give him a 5. It's as simple as that. He was below average. Below average. You know, you're one of the players that needs to step up when we're in the gutter, and we were in the gutter, and he didn't step up. Simple as that.
Fair enough. Explanation. I'm gonna give him a 7. You know, I still think he did defensive works. He was very well defensively, and that's majority of what I need Rice for. I need Rice. I wanted to buy Rice specifically for his interceptions. Yeah, for him to get the ball back for us, for him to stop attacks, and I think he did that well yesterday. So I'm going to give him a 7. Havertz, I think we can all agree he's a 10.
8.
I'm going to go 10. No, because a man of the match for me. If I give someone a man of the match, they're 10.
Wow.
That's the man of the match to me.
Okay.
We could do that. We could do the actual. Okay, we'll do the actual. I'll say probably an 8.5, 9.
Yeah, fair.
But 7.5, 8.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
for me.
8 for me. Yeah, I'd say.
But he's the highest rated player for me.
100%.
You know, I would give him a solid 8 if he scored that goal.
Yeah.
If he scored, I would have given him a 9, honestly. But unfortunately,
yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Odegaard, I'm gonna start this off by saying 0.
I don't mind. I was gonna say 2 to be lenient, but yeah, I guess
no. 0 can be there, bro.
As I said, it's on moments, and his moments he did take them. So yeah,
it's my 0. Obviously, T. Are you the same, or are you giving him a number?
I'm giving him.
I don't think so. I think he was giving him minus. Yeah, see that.
I'm giving him -10. Shout out Emil Smith-Rowe.
The reason why I give him a 0 is because he's the captain, and he put out a performance like that. You can't do that as a captain. That's unforgivable for me. Missing 2 chances, 3 chances, whatever it was. And apparently he ran from a 50-50. I don't even remember when that was.
Yeah.
Apparently he ran from 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was so caught up in my emotions, bro, that I didn't even know when that was.
Bro, he just knows that he loses his battle, so he gave up because he's weak. He just knows, bro.
It's fucked. Saka.
2.
I'm gonna give him a 3. I'm a bit kinder, but what are you gonna give him?
Yeah, maybe 3, 4.
3, 4. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Martinelli.
4 for me. Got in behind a couple of times, did nothing. Went 1-on-1 with Martinez and didn't trip him properly. 4.
Yeah. T.
واحد. Yes. واحد.
Man caught me off guard with that.
Not
So
Jewish.
for the
واحد.
people, for the people
he
who
said
don't
he said it the
understand,
Moroccan way as well. He said
exactly,
Jewish.
exactly.
Of
For the
course.
people who don't understand, he just said a one for Martinelli. I'm gonna go with a 4 for Martinelli. I was gonna go 3 for Saka and then 4 for Martinelli, just because I feel like even though he did get on some runs and almost scored with that chip, which was cleared. Jesus, I'm gonna start off by giving him a 5. I think that's lenient enough. Although he did miss some chances as well, and just all over the place.
Great setup for Odegaard.
Wait, was
That's
that?
right.
Oh yes.
For
He
the one
set
that
up
he missed, yeah.
Odegaard really well. Yeah, it was a good setup.
That was the for the first one, innit?
Yeah.
Shocking.
I'm giving him a 6 because if the two things that were supposed to happen happened, actually I'll even give him a 7 maybe because
No,
the
6
setup.
6 is good.
No, because think about it, right? If that chance he set up for Odegaard, I think we can all agree Odegaard should have scored that, right? 100%.
Yeah.
And if the penalty was given as it's supposed to be, we would have come out of this game saying, "Yo, Jesus assisted and got us a penalty." Every one of us would be saying 7 or 8. It's not his fault that Odegaard was a klutz in front of goal, and that the referee was walking blind like with a freaking walking stick. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
No, 100%. What are you giving him, T?
Jesus,
Yeah.
I'm giving him a 6 because just average. He did his role great as our number 8. Yes.
No, fair enough.
One more thing, by the way. One more small thing. Thing. ESR would have scored that goal.
100%.
Maybe.
100%.
Maybe.
No,
100%. With his left
100%.
or with his right. Doesn't matter.
ESR scoring 100%. Because he'll wallop it, bro. He'll smack it. He will
With
smack it.
either foot. Doesn't matter which one.
I know that. ESR scoring that. And then Arteta just finally. I don't think Arteta really had anything. I don't think he made a necessary. Actually, you know what?
Whoever the manager was, I'll give him a 1. Whoever was taking the calls yesterday, 1. Not to remove Saka.
It's probably Albert. Albert.
Yeah, fair enough.
Albert, yes. Albert Einstein.
Airport Albert gets a 1 from you. I'm the same, a 1. Because I don't think Arteta, as funny as it is, I don't think he had any decisions to make on the actual bringing players on, taking players off. I think that was all Albert, which is funny. But
bro, him walking through that door became a meme as well, bro. I saw that this morning at Twitter. I was like, nah, bro, it's starting already.
no, it's fucking bullshit, man. Honestly,
I'll give them. I'm gonna be the rational one this time. I'll give them a 5. You know why? This was our best team we could play. We don't have a better team than this that we played. Let's be real. The team that we set up against Aston Villa is our best team. The only reason why I don't give them above, okay, maybe I'll give them a 4. But the only reason I don't give them a 1 is because of that. They played everything that we had basically. The only thing that I fault our managers for this game is the timing of our substitutions. Because at the time that Aston Villa made 4 substitutions, we were still on 0, and you saw that our attacking wasn't flowing. Why are you bringing Trossard on where people are more tired? Why don't you bring Trossard a little bit earlier on when people are still a little bit fresher? So Trossard can do his build-up game and then maybe finish one off like he always does. And that's the only thing I fault them for this game, because the lineup is the best lineup we could play. Yeah. We cannot do better than this right now.
Definitely.
For me, the reason I give them a 1 is because the lineup for me just picked itself. It's not like they had another option, because the back 4 was the back 4. We obviously have our injuries. He's definitely not going to pick Nketiah. It was just a decision between Trossard and Havertz. That's it. And Havertz has been in form last couple of games, so it's an easy decision to put in Havertz there. The reason I give them a 1 is because the substitutions first for me were either late or were not correct, right? And secondly, when you see that a team is like, so for me, right, the first half, The manager sets you up. You have the game plan, blah, blah, blah. But they say the second half is the proper half for the manager because you get to go in halftime and say, hey, this is what's happening in the first half. They're playing with this high line. They're doing this. They're doing that. This is what we need to do to exploit that, right? And for me, whoever was taking the calls, whether it's Albert, whether it's Arteta through the call or whatever, did not prepare that team well for it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's your job as a manager to be seeing on the sidelines and be like, yo, they're playing with such a high line. We're not playing any proper through ball. Let's fix it up. Let's exploit this angle. Let's exploit this. Saka makes more runs behind.
Let's not forget that this same Airport Albert guy, is the one who in Anfield last season, he is the one who it was his decision, and it was his actual it was his advice that he gave Arteta to just put Kivior on for his first game at Anfield last year, and then go to the back five. You know that was his, to soak in that pressure. That was his advice. So he fucked us that game. So it's not the first time that he's fucked us. But anyway, I give him a 1. Just not making decisions. But Ashraf, I know you wanted to say something before we cancel.
Look. So this isn't like, okay, look. We have spoken about the game. We've taken our frustrations out. We have spoken about the refs as well. Very annoying. We have also addressed like, okay, there are certain things we need to do in the market in Jan to improve. Obviously, like we're challenging with City and Liverpool, who are like mammoths when it comes to winning the league. Now that we have let all this out, and in addition, I'm also going to say this: I'm not one of these toxic positivity fans. Oh, we have to be positive, blah blah blah. No, I call things as they are, right? I wanted Wenger out since 2011, right, when we lost the Carling Cup final to Birmingham, because I didn't think he had enough in him left to win us a league anymore in the next few years. And I was right. He didn't win us a league. We did win a couple of FA Cups here and there, which is obviously always nice. But the main two things, the league and the Champions League, he always failed in them after that. So this isn't me trying to be a toxic positivity fan. However, the reaction I've been seeing everywhere of Arsenal fans are like, this is why we're not going to win the league. Oh my God, it's a disaster, blah, blah. I'm like, guys, let's not be that reactionary, right? We have lost 2 games this season, both of them away from home. I'm not even going to say the refs fucked us over in both games. Fuck it, because the refs will fuck every team over, right? Eventually it'll balance out. Last season, the ref didn't draw a line
against to the judges. Do not leave it to the judges.
Last season, the referee didn't draw a line against Brentford, but guess what? They also didn't have a line against Liverpool at home when Saka was offside. It was apparently offside. There's no clear angle to see. So these things balance themselves out anyways, right? We've lost 2 games this season, both of them away in difficult grounds. One of them against a team that had 14 wins in a row. That 3-4 days before that dismantled the best team in Europe, right? Absolutely dominated them. So for any Arsenal fans out there like who are reactionary, I'm going to say, oh, because of this defeat, we're in the... If we lose to Brighton or we don't win against Brighton, fair enough. Yes, there's a trend. And it's no longer... You can no longer see this result in a vacuum because you can now say, oh, you know what? There seems to be a trajectory here. Maybe. Especially before the Liverpool game comes. Because that Liverpool game, if we don't win against Brighton, we don't win against Liverpool as well, then it's not a crisis, but it's a problem, right? But right now, the way things are, we can criticize the team, we can criticize the players. This player played shit, this player played shit. Some players have to be penalized for playing like shit. Like, I would drop Odegaard next game against Brighton as well because of this. But if you thought we could win the league before the Aston Villa game, this game doesn't change it. Because guess what? No team is going to go 38 games on a 38-game winning streak. No team is going to do it. By the way, there was a calculation. I heard someone say this in a space, and I did the math and saw it's true. For City to get 90 points this season, 90, right? They have to win 20 of their remaining 22 games. Do you know how mad that is? So this season is not going to be a high points tally season. Whoever wins the league is probably going to do it with 85, 86 points. And the reason for that is City are obviously going to compete. Anyone who writes City off is just being an idiot. They're not going to die off. They're eventually going to come back, I mean. Liverpool probably will keep challenging for long. Aston Villa, I don't think will last the whole season, but they will probably be there up in the top 4, top 5, maybe up until Feb, March, and maybe they'll even get top 4 in there, and who knows? Tottenham will be up and down, especially when they get their players back. So this season, the 3 big teams, let's say if we say Arsenal, Liverpool, and City, the 3 teams challenging for the title, are going to drop points away from home and maybe even at home to some of these teams and across the league, because the league is a bit harder this season. So if you thought we are not going to win the league before the Villa game, fair enough. Then your opinion can stay. But if you as Arsenal fans thought we could win the league before the Aston Villa game, for me, the Aston Villa game doesn't change it. Because I would much rather, I don't want us to lose any game, but I would much rather we lose having played well and created chances versus playing well where we got absolutely smashed and battered by a team and we could not even sniff a proper open chance. Because those chances I think we can fix here and there. But not being able to even create chances is a much bigger problem. That's what I wanted to say in the end.
No, 100%.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
Only thing I'll say is maybe we could look at it from another perspective as well, from their perspective, because after last year, people expect results this year, and Aston Villa is a big game, and if you're a big side, you don't look at other sides, you just do your thing like you're supposed to do, you know. And I understand that part of what they're saying, because I don't. Okay, it would be reactionary to say, "Oh, it's over. We're not winning the league. This was it." You know, that's reactionary. Yes, I agree completely with that. But I also understand people that expect big standards this year, especially after last year. You know, and we were supposed to have improved our squad. We would have closed the gap with City. That was what's been said by super fans, you know. But where is how did we close the gap exactly? The only thing City did is buy shit players and didn't replace Gundogan. That's the way you say his name, by the way, Gundogan. You don't say the second G. But Gundogan and Mahrez, they didn't replace them, and they bought shit players instead of that. And they say, "Oh, we improved our players." Did we even improve on Xhaka? Is any of the players that we've bought except Rice, because he's 100 million plus? Yeah, is any of the other players that we bought better than Xhaka? I don't think we improved that much. And that's why I understand those fans, because they see those problems as well. They see baby steps and not leaps that like they want. And that it's almost like the same with Liverpool with Brendan Rodgers. When Klopp was inside, it was over.
I 100% agree with you there. All I'm saying is that the Villa game yesterday doesn't change that. Like nothing changed because of yesterday's game. Actually, I was telling Saad before the stream started, like I think City are going to win the league. They're my favorites. If I had to pick one, I think City are my favorite. But yesterday's game made me believe slightly more that actually we could have a chance, because if we end up losing games playing like this, it's not like, I hate using this word because some people use it out of context, but it's not the end of the world. However, I personally believe that we will not win the league because I think there are deficiencies and they are there from before, which we haven't addressed yet, which is why I'm still on the same thing, that I think we'll probably finish second, right? But yesterday's game doesn't like reinforce my belief, nor does it like suddenly make me think, you know what, we're better off or we're worse off.
Yeah, no, 100%. Listen, obviously, thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. No, it's all good, so good. Thank you very much for being on the panel with me, guys. And people, thank you very much for tuning in with us. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and the links down below will be for these two lovely gentlemen who are making content as well themselves, so make sure to click on the links down below in the description, and we'll see you guys on the next stream. Latest, people. Bye.